Good afternoon. It is March the 7th, and I wanted to make a part two to the Anna Louise and sex trafficking cartel dealings. And just to do a little recap, my name is Bianca, and I was a member of the Gamble Nippert YMCA, me and my daughter. And because of inheritance theft, by their employees and their court connections and their gang and mob ties, they were able to sex traffic me and my daughter to the illegal black market web. And I thought my life was getting on track. I found a shelter by the name of Anna Louise. They have excellent programs, to say the least. And I end up getting an apartment through completing their program, and I really thought that the apartment was beautiful, and I thought everything was going well until the same criminal activities followed me to this property. And the property is called Anna Louise Inn. So I, have the apartment and I noticed there's excessive noise. So there's not just typical noise, when you live in a multi-unit apartment building. I noticed this is very loud, violent noise. And naturally you do the sensible thing. You go to, your management, your property management. And what I'm getting at is this is about the time I noticed that the cartel had infiltrated the Anna Louise Inn as well. Because I started to make complaints, I wrote them down, and the noise is 24/7, and I noticed that they kept denying it. Beth and Gordon. And I'm like, well, okay. They said that, I couldn't be telling the truth for so many words. They didn't say that, but in so many words, they were gaslighting. They were like, oh, she's a tiny woman. We can't hear that. We can't imagine her making this type of noise. And it got to the point where I had to call the police. And I noticed how the police, when they came, they handled the situation. They went to talk to her like she was the victim. And so that let me know that the neighbors and the management, Beth and Gordon, were getting paid by the cartel to do an eviction on me, like to try to set me up to get arrested by provoking through noise pollution. Um, and they do this several times a day. The upstairs neighbor, Beth and Gordon and them are very aware of it. And like I say, naturally, you tell management. And what Beth did was she started abusing me financially, so as to shut me up about what was going on the property. Because I'm like, well, okay, if the problem is so loud that I have to complain to you all several times, you know how you push the envelope. And so they told me, well, we don't have enough documentation for your recertification. So they called me downstairs and I did recertification in a group of about 6 or 7 women. And out of those women, I'm the only one that doesn't have their recertification approved. Beth claimed that she didn't have enough paperwork. She didn't have enough paycheck stubs. And at the time, I gave her all the paycheck stubs. She said they were fine. Everything's great. Then she comes back and says, we don't have enough paycheck stubs. Okay, so this is a game that they're playing to try to get me evicted. So not only are they playing financial abuse games, but they're also playing games with the neighbors. So the neighbors, like I said, are getting paid to do stalking, harassing, noise pollution. And, as of right now, I can't prove that there's illegal surveillance in my home. I can't prove that. I can't point to the cameras. But as an individual, you know when something's not right. When every time you come outside, there are certain individuals that come outside with you. All sorts of things, all sorts of key phrases that, you say in your home privately, and then they're saying it to you as well. All sorts of subliminal abusive games that cartel members play. and they teach groomers to play, such as Beth and Gordon and the neighbors at Anna Louise, and such as my upstairs neighbor. She gets paid to make all sorts of noise all hours of the day. She watches me illegal surveillance through this private chat that they have. No, I can't prove that there's a chat that they communicate, but I definitely know for sure that there's noise pollution 24/7, which is caused to make me complain so that I can get arrested. So this is what Beth and Gordon have agreed to do for employees of the Gamble Nippert YMCA, Zach and Glenda, because Zach and Glenda raped my daughter. They sold her to be raped by multiple men, and they don't want to be held accountable. And Zach and Glenda are employees of the Gamble Nippert YMCA that have a backing of a large nonprofit organization such as the YMCA, and they have several court official connections, judges who are willing to pull strings for them. So Zach and Glenda aren't directly contacting these people. The cartels that they pay, to abuse me through sex trafficking, those cartels and different people are the ones that are in contact directly with Beth, Gordon, and whoever these neighbors are that are participating in this group chat of abuse for the Gamble Nippert YMCA. Why? Once again, they want me out in the street because they don't want to go to court about the sexual assault and possible homicide of my daughter. You know, they want to keep this under wraps. The employees of the YMCA, they're willing to pay anyone and do anything to keep me silent about what happened to my child because they're prominent people. And when you're dealing with prominent people, you know, these type of people can pull all sorts of strings, like make connections to other nonprofit organizations such as the Anna Louise, and infiltrate nonprofit organizations that are designed to help battered women. And then it becomes counterproductive when you have management such as Beth and Gordon and their maintenance, Evan, doing illegal work, illegal practices for cartels, you know, not really understanding the full extent of what they're doing and just getting paid to do it. Look, it's been a pleasure. I will be making more recordings in the future. My name is Ymca once again. Take care and God bless.